to Tete, a place for hope, truth, and healing. Today we're going to talk about CSA again, and I'm never going to stop talking about it, but today in particular, it's about CSA and the Black community and the Black families. And for those of you who haven't been following the channel, so this channel, again, I talk about family values, I talk about CSA, SA, I talk about some cultural stuff, but I try to keep it within things that I feel like I have more to offer, which I feel like everybody should do. And CSA in the Black community, boy, that's a big one. That is a big one. It's a big one everywhere. It does not discriminate. And you find that kind of stuff everywhere, sadly. And the more I've been digging into this, shameless plug, I'm writing my book and it's about CSA. I am a victim of CSA because I want to, again, see this type of things. Just sadly, I know we're not going to be able to eliminate it completely because, well, bad people do exist and I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon. But what we can do is to talk about it, raise awareness, and make sure people know what's going on out there. So that's what pushed me to write my book, and that's why I've been so vocal about it on TikTok and YouTube as well. So we're going to talk about CSA and the Black community. Again, like I said, it does not discriminate. CSA is everywhere. White, Asian, Black, wherever. But it caught my attention because as I was doing my research, so I was able to see a lot of things that I was like, oh, wow, that applied to me. Wow, this applied to me too. This really applies to me. Wow. It's like light bulb moments. It's making sense as I'm reading, as I'm researching, as I'm digging deeper and deeper into it, right? Because you have your experience and that's very powerful. But when you start learning about the whole thing and like in a broad kind of spectrum, so you see things that, you didn't know, or it's revealing things that you may have thought about, but you never actually knew about. So today we're going to start with the fact that CSA does not discriminate. So it is everywhere, but I want to talk about the Black family, right? Again, in the Black culture, as I'm speaking, a lot of things that I'm going to be saying now, it's going to be based off of my experience in the Black community, having been from a culture where family name means a lot. And how does that relate to CSA? It relates to CSA because a lot of the times, those victims, they don't come forward. They don't talk about it because they don't want the family name to be tainted. And so that is a big problem, right? And I'm going to name a few more, but that's such a big problem where you have victims just not only continue to be victimized, but they suffer in silence because they don't want the name to be something that people look at. Oh my gosh, can you believe so-and-so? That's who's doing that? Oh my goodness, I can't believe this family is doing this. Wow. So they're afraid of the reputation they're going to get. Meanwhile, like I said, they keep suffering in silence. And so that's a big problem specifically within the Black community. And another big problem within the Black community, religion. Religion is a big one too. You find that in the name of religion, and I'm a very religious guy. I'm a Christian, proudly. But your religion should not keep you from being vocal about something that is wrong, that's happening. Your religion should not keep you from speaking about the injustice. Matter of fact, it should make you want to do that more. It should push you to step out because this is what Jesus did. Jesus didn't just see things happening and because he was so nice, he didn't want to step on toes and he just let them happen. That was not the case. Because of religion, I can make a very strong case that you should come out and talk about it. You should not worry about the reputation of the church, the reputation of the synagogue, whatever. You should come out when you see injustice and talk about it. So religion is a big one as to why people don't come out and talk about their abusers, the way that they're being victimized. And so you have religion, so you have family name, people trying to keep the reputation intact, so they don't talk about it. Yeah, so fear of destroying the family. So that's a big reason why they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it, reputation. Not their family's reputation, Not the church's reputation in the case of religion, but their own reputation. So I'll give you an example in my case. So for me, whenever everything was happening, I know my peers were never going to help me to get out of it or to see the other side of it or to validate the feelings that I was feeling about what was happening. And what was happening? At a very young age, I was exposed to sexual activities by older girls, and was also being facilitated by an authority figure in my life, uncle. And so it was hard for me to come out and just talk to anyone. Why? The people that I could have talked with or could have approached and talked about those things, not only I was afraid of how they were going to see me. So let's just take my friends, for example. So my friends, the ones that weren't in that life, they wanted to be in that life. And so if I were to talk to them, they would promptly tell me, wow, dude, I wish I was you. Are you kidding me? Girls love you and you're doing this and that. You're having sex, you're doing this. That's awesome, dude. So they would see it that way. Sadly, that's the boat that I was in. And the people that wouldn't see it that way, they would still not help me to see the other side of it, which is the destruction that it was doing to me at a very young age that I could not even comprehend. They all wanted to have that life. So it was very unfortunate because my situation was just very complex. I was feeling a certain way that I didn't know how to feel about it, and I didn't have anybody to go talk to. And parents, forget it, because it just way too awkward. And again, let's just go back to that family thing that I mentioned at the beginning. I alluded to that. The fact that it's happening within your family, somebody that you know, somebody that your parents know. And don't forget, most CSA victims, it happened from within their circle, that trusted circle, that family circle, the friend circle. So it's tough to just come out and be like, hey, by the way, dad is doing that. Your best friend's doing that to me. By the way, mom, your friend's doing that to me. So it's just really hard. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And again, it's even harder in the Black community because of some sort of stigma. And everything that I'm saying here, you're more than welcome to just Google, and your best friend, I'm sure by now, ChatGPT will give you a huge boost to find out all this information. It's not hidden. It's not a secret. CSA is running rampant. And this episode, again, is about how it affects the Black community and how I'm using my own experience to highlight some of those things that happen. And so the reality of CSA in the Black community. So based on my notes, so I have statistically, right? Statistics are underreported, but studies show that Black children are disproportionately impacted. Again, it's everything that I just talked about. The fear of just how the stigma that you're going to put on yourself, how your family name is going to be affected, how your religion is going to be affected, their reputation. So all those kind of suppress you. They keep you in the closet. And what's happening in the closet? The fear is killing you. The abuse is still happening. And you just slowly deteriorating from the inside because you have a pain that you don't know how to medicate. And most times, usually, almost always, self-medication takes a very bad route. It happens in a very bad way. I do a lot of talking. I do like market research and I ask questions. I have people comment and talk about stuff. Some of the people, the way they self-medicate is so destructive, but sadly they don't know how to do it. They don't have another way to do it. Because what they really want is to come out and say, this is what's happening to me. I want justice. I want to get out of this. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. I want to change it. But it's hard to do that. It's always hard for a victim to come out and talk about their abusers. It's never easy. So you have people from my market research on TikTok, people just commenting, people just like letting it all out, talking about I have to go in the closet and then chain myself and fall asleep. I have to drink. I have to use all sorts of drugs, marijuana, meth, cocaine. I became a sex addict. I became asexual. It really kills you. And let me just say, I never wanted to, again, I'm going to keep saying that because it is the truth. And I know that's how a lot of guys are feeling. When it comes to sexual stuff, guys in particular, we don't like to talk about our fear because we want to look tough. We want to be tough. We don't like to talk. We don't like to say sorry. We don't like to talk about our vulnerabilities. And so for me, that's something that for sure kept me from doing all this, writing my book, talking to you guys. It kept me from doing all this because I never liked, and again, it's the same thing from when it was happening when I was little. The fear of just coming out and talk about it and have people making fun of me and then look at me as, oh, you're not as mature as I thought you were. Really? Why are you talking about that? That's a good thing. You should feel good about it. You a player. You a player. So many excuses, so many things, stigmas, stereotypes that could keep you. So many excuses that can keep you from coming out and talk about this injustice to get the healing and the freedom that you need. And I can guarantee you this, until you actually talk about it, find an accountability partner, somebody you can trust, or just let it out, find the healing that you need from it, it is always going to keep impacting you. And what does it impact? It's not just you. Down the line, it's going to impact your marriage. It's going to impact your parenting if you decide to have kids. It's going to impact your friend circle, the kind of people that you hang around. It's going to impact your life in a way that you never expected it to, because it's that type of cancer. It is eating at you, but you don't even realize it. And if you have good friends, good people in your circle, good people in your corner, they will tell you those things. They will tell you, hey, look, man, are you all right? Do you need to talk about anything? I just feel like you're a certain way. I don't know if I've ever seen you this way. Is there anything that you want to talk about? I'm not a big advocate for therapy, but some people, that just might be what they need. Go see a therapist and talk about it, because it is, in fact, something that's happening, whether we talk about it, whether we acknowledge it or not. And again, in my neighborhood here where I live, I know at least 2 people who have been sexually abused when they were kids. And I guarantee you that within your friend circle right now, if they care, if to be truthful and be honest with you, if you ask anybody, do you know of anybody who has been SA'd, CSA'd? I am positive you will find at least 1 or 2 people in their adulthood right now who have been through that as a kid, or who at least know somebody that's going through it right now. So it's a big problem. And that's the reason why I decided to talk about it. Now, let's talk about some of the myths and the truth that should combat those myths. A typical one is black children are too strong to be victims. Wrong. Very wrong. I'm the living proof of that, right? Very wrong. There's no such thing. And if you keep telling yourself that you are too strong, whether you're a woman or, this is about the black community in particular, but it does not discriminate. But if you're saying black kids are too strong, we've been through so much, we're tough, we're just, nothing can get us down and stuff like that, you are lying to yourself, because it's going to happen, and somebody that your family trusts, somebody that you trusted, it's going to happen. And when it happened, now you find yourself at this crossroad. Which way do I go? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I not say anything? I just stay right there in the middle. I stay stagnant. Meanwhile, life keeps going. Life keeps going. And now you are dealing with something you don't know what to do with it. So that's a myth. It does happen to just about anybody, especially in the black community. So the truth about what I just said, this myth, vulnerability is human. Silence does not equal strength. So just because it happened, everything that I talked about at the beginning of this segment is not for you to stay quiet and not talk about it. Religion should not keep you from doing that. I've already debunked that. Matter of fact, it should be a reason why you come out and talk about it. Your family name should not be a reason. Just because it's going to taint, it's going to destroy your family name does not mean you just let this go on from you to the next kid, to the next kid, to the next kid, and so forth. Now you become somewhat of an accomplice of this, because you know it's happening. It's happened to you. but you never came out. You're not going to be the only victim. So, another myth. We can't talk about it without hurting the family. Again, I talked about that. Cannot let that keep you back. You gotta look forward. You gotta look at the truth in the eyes and say, this is the truth. I'm gonna follow it wherever it leads me. If it offends you, if it does whatever, I'm gonna follow it until it takes me to where it's supposed to take me. This only happens in dysfunctional family. That's a big one. So a lot of times people just equate those types of bad behaviors to low lives, if you will, quote unquote. People who are just uneducated, people in the ghetto, people in this. You are wrong. You're very wrong. Look at the news. I mean, from Epstein, Diddy, and all these oligarchs, all these rich people. Those people are predators. They prey on the weakest. That's what they do. Why? There are a lot of reasons why I can come up with, but that's not the important thing. But they do that. The question now is, what do we do about the fact that those kind of things are happening? Are we going to be a voice to change that? Or are we just going to stay here and not say anything, but know that it's happening? Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying just because you're listening to me talking about this and you know that I've been through it, that all of a sudden you should just pick up arms and let's just go fight. Let's just do something. No, there are many ways you can help. But I believe the first way is by doing what I'm doing right now. Stepping out of your comfort zone and talk about it. Talk about what's happening so that we can come up with a solution. We might not be able to change the whole system, but we can make a change. So it's all about communication and talking about it. As I was doing my research though, however, I did come up into certain things that I felt very strongly I opposed to them. So there's no ambiguity there. This whole CSA thing in the black community in particular, again, remember I'm talking about the black community here, more specifically. They talk about systemic factors. So if you guys go and do your research, so you're going to run into that, I want to give my opinion on this as well. One of the things that they talked about, it's underreporting due to the fear that the law enforcement or child welfare will treat black families unfairly. Now, in the black community, there are a few things. There are a few sayings, few phrases that are very common. And one of them is unapologetically black. It's that pride thing, right? One of the deadliest sins. It's about not just hang on to your blackness. Doesn't matter where it leads you. I know that this might be the truth, but I'm unapologetically black. I don't want the system to let them mess with my blackness. I know how they feel about this victim mentality thing. Now, how far are you willing to take this whole blackness thing, that unapologetically black thing? How far are you willing to take that, knowing that you are running away from the truth, knowing that you are hurting people with that kind of mindset? What do I mean by that? In this culture right now, I don't remember if it was the rapper T.I. I don't really follow him, but I was listening to an interview at some point and he said something along those lines. Something like, I don't know about you, partner, but I'm willing to die for my respect. Until he said, again, I'm paraphrasing. He said something along the lines of, like when he went to jail or the situation happened where he realized that while he's willing to die for his respect, the people that are taking the respect are not worth even talking about. So the point is, as you are unapologetically black or unapologetically standing up for your culture, it doesn't matter what you tell me, what the truth might be, you letting a stigma or stereotype or some sort of title take over what the truth is, you have to realize, where is that going to lead me? So when we talk about what I just said, so the fear of the reciprocation on the black family. For example, let me unpack that. So if that your uncle or your aunt or a friend of the family is doing something really bad to your cousin, God forbid to you, but you don't come forth because you don't want that uncle to go to jail. Think about that for a second. Remember, I told you, those kind of predators, they go from one prey to another. When they feel like they're about to get cornered, they move on. They're not as dumb as you think. So You're afraid of the reciprocation or what might come if you tell the law. If you go out, if you call 911 and say, hey, listen, this is what's happening to me. This is what uncle's doing. And it's horrible. I hate it. I don't know what to do. You're afraid that if you do that, they're going to come to your family or child protective services or whatever will come and then do something that you don't want. But meanwhile, you're letting that behavior happening over and over again. And I told you, this kind of stuff doesn't just stay with you. It affects you first, then it affects the people around you, then it will affect your whole life. If you decide to have a family, the way you parent your kids, the way you, like, the type of spouse that you're going to be, it will affect you. So again, let's go back to that truth thing. You know what the truth is. You know what's happening to you is not good. You know what you're supposed to do, but you let a lot of things cloud your judgment, make the water really murky. And you make excuses one after another so that you don't do the right thing. The truth, the right thing is you got to report those people. You got to think about what's happening and how you can fix it. When you get to that, to the answer, don't shy away from it. Keep going. You got to keep going. You got to break the generational silence that's been going on. And again, that's due to those things that I alluded at the beginning of the segment. The truth will always stay the truth. The truth will always be the truth, whether you like it or not. It's not gonna, many people won't like it, but eventually the goal is for you to stand on it, because there's people who may not have liked it from the beginning. You may have ruffled a lot of feathers from the beginning, but from your courage, other people will start doing the same thing. It's like a snowball effect, right? So with that being said, I have also some organizations that I would like to suggest here. I will put them on the screen. The first one is Black Women's Blueprint, blackwomensblueprint.org. That's a place that you can go if you need help, if you don't know where to go. Again, I've never talked to anybody from those organizations, but they're out there. That's a place that you can go to get the help that you need, perhaps if you don't have an accountability partner, if you don't have it within your family structure. The Loveland Foundation, lovelandfoundation.org. You can also go there, see what they got. You can do therapy for Black girls. If you're a girl that's being abused and you're going through a lot of crazy things, unspeakable things, and you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, start there. Safe Black Space, safeblackspace.org. That's another place for you to go. The idea that you don't know what to do in this day and age, it's a bit of a cop-out, and you need to do more. I don't know if you lack the courage, the strength. You need to dig deep and then get that. It's not easy for me to stand here and then talk to you about what I've been through and, you know, what I've decided to write my book on, and something so personal. That word right there, it's so personal. I should keep it to myself. By definition, it shouldn't be a public thing, right? But is it really personal when it's affecting the people around me? When it's affecting me to such a deep level where I can't give it 100%? I can't live to my full potential because something that's happened, and I choose to keep it secret. I choose to make it personal, and I never get the healing that I need. I never become the person I was supposed to be because I keep carrying this burden. That's what CSA is. CSA, SA, anybody who's been abused, sexual trauma, more specifically, it keeps you from achieving your full potential. It's something that was taken from you when you didn't even know that you had it, or what it was supposed to be for, or how important it was going to be for you in the future. And so to get that back, it's impossible. But you can work towards getting something that's resembled that thing that would eventually be just good enough for you to live your life the way it was intended. It's not easy. It's tough to just let it all out there, to be vulnerable. As men in particular, we don't like that. We do not like that. It's easy for us to just fake it. We're going to fake the tough guy. We're going to fake the strength. We're going to fake the funk as long as we can. It's inherent in us. It's a bit of a default mode. And I love that. But when it comes to something that happened and you need to get the healing for it, it's okay to come out and just talk about things. Because you have to remember the healing's not just for you, it's for the people around you, it's for the people that you don't even know that you're going to affect. It's a snowball effect. By you getting the healing that you need, a lot more things will come from that you don't even realize. But it takes you making the first step. Thank you for watching. Take care.
Hey, yeah, you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Like, subscribe, and share it. Help me spread the word.